coming back to watch one of my Messages with Spirit videos. I did just record a full long spiel and my mic wasn't on, so that's a bit annoying. But anyway, basically what I was saying is I'm going to start doing these videos like this, where I record them as it's happening and as the information is coming in my learning through private readings. I have been able to develop this a little bit better. I'm still not at the stage where I'm doing live reading with the client. It is still me recording it and sending it off, but I do feel that this is developing and it's getting a lot easier to maintain the connection with spirit. Whereas when I was first starting, it was quite hard. I sort of would have to meditate, and then a bit of information would come through, and then I would meditate again, you know. I do feel that this process of recording for YouTube, it is a lot easier for me, knowing that it's just that I'm open to whatever comes through. It does feel more natural in that sense, but at the same time, it's not how it's going to always work. So this is a great tool for getting messages out there that come through, because I was saying that this is a good tool for just getting a lot of messages to come through at once that can hopefully be found and met with who they're intended for. Okay, I'm going to try that again. So I have a male energy here. This person does come through as somewhat of a father figure, a grandfather figure. He's very much a country guy, like sort of into the country music, the country scene. I do get the impression that there's horses connected to this particular person. I see here that he's got there's a daughter in spirit. I've got an S sounding name and an M sounding name. In the past, I would say what I thought the actual name would be, and I'm going to stop doing that, because with my one-on-one readings, I tend to be wrong most of the time with the specifics of the name. But however, when they do present a name, it's usually connected to the first initial. So I'm just going to stick with that one, an M and an S sounding name. This could be the person in spirit. It could also be who it's intended for. So if you've got either of those and there's somebody that fits this description, then this person's for you. I've got there's a dog here as well, like a Kelpie. No, it's not a Kelpie, it's like a shepherd. Oh, what are they called? German Shepherd. No, it's not a shepherd. What is going on tonight? Oh, okay, sorry. There's two dogs here. So he's showing me a German Shepherd, and he's showing me a Border Collie type dog, like a Aussie sheep dog. I definitely get that this person, whether he's worked on the land or has property, there's definitely property associated with the family. In the area that this family lives, the family name I do get is quite prominent. You're well known within the community. He's showing me like there may even be like a street that is named, or something of significance that's named in the area after the family, because of the long history within the community. I feel that the family is very connected to the work and operations that go on with the community, and that's something that's just been passed down from generation to generation. And that's something that the family is very proud of. You're very proud of the fact that you are involved so much in what goes on within the community, just as a family. he's showing me there's a lot of kids connected to the family. The family in itself is quite large. He's showing me that a lot of the family time is spent at this particular property, but he's also showing me that there is perhaps some sort of conversation or confusion about whether or not to move on. He's showing that there, because of the large community involvement, the integration of the family within this community, that there's a struggle as to the right decision to make. There's you know, I think that there might be coming up to a time where there's conversations about whether or not to sell the property, or a desire to sell the property, and there's a lot of conflict in the family as to whether or not this should go ahead. He is saying that the final say will come down to one person, and whatever they decide is the right decision is what is meant to be and what is meant to happen. And he's saying that there's no right or wrong answer. Whatever's decided is what is decided. If the family decides to keep the property, he does see that inevitably down the line, the decision will be made to sell on. So he's like, whether you decide to do it now or you decide to do it later, that is what's going to happen. And that's fine. He's saying that's fine. Like, you know, just because yous aren't located at that particular property or the avenue that the family had always gone down and has gone down for such a long time, even though that changes, the family dynamic's not going to change. The community involvement doesn't have to change. So he's like, the lifestyle and the family unit will still stay together. It's not the end of the world. That's what he's saying. Okay, and that's it. He's sort of moved on now. Thank you. I've got a lady here now. I've got two people, sorry, whether they're coming through together. I've got an older elderly lady and a younger lady. The younger lady's sort of got long, like brown hair. I want to almost say auburn, but it's a little bit lighter than that. And she's showing me that this is the case because she dyes it like this. So she's got a natural hair color in there, but she puts highlights in it. Now this lady has left behind, she's showing that she's left behind two sons. She's died at quite a young age. I'm getting between 50 and 65. I know that's quite broad, but I'm not very good with I'm not very good with locking in an actual age, but she's somewhere around in there. I'm getting an S sounding name. And this lady is very well put together for her age. She, and I say that with the most respect, she's changed, sorry. Okay, she liked people to think that she was around 50, but she's actually around closer to 60. That's why the range there was so broad, was the fact that she's like, I'm nearing 60, but I like people to think that I'm closer to 50. So that's what that is. But yeah, she's quite well put together. So being a lady that is closer to 60, even looking at her, and if you met her, you wouldn't think that that was her age. You would think that she was closer to 50. She's very well put together, very lovely figure, slim figure, and naturally so. She's one of these people that doesn't necessarily have to do too much. She was very healthy and did exercise, but she did that almost out of guilt because she didn't have to. Her body and her metabolism was just very spot on, and she really didn't have to make the effort. She was just naturally pretty. And she comes through with an older lady, and this person that she's coming through, she's letting me know is mum, so her mum. They're together in spirit, and they've met back up in spirit. They're having a great old time together. I've got the name Mary, and I know that I said I would only say an M sounding name, so keep that in mind, but that just come through very clear for me. However, I'm not sure if that's mum or mum's name. She does show me that she's left behind 2 young boys. She's showing me them like the same, like they look the same, so I don't know whether or not these boys are twins. Perhaps they're just very close in age, but they're definitely there and they're definitely together. And they're older, they're around 18-ish, I would like to say. And dad's there too. I do get the impression that there is a younger female involved with this family as well, still in present. But I'm unsure as to whether or not this is a younger sister sibling, or because she's not presenting them as being together. She's just presenting that there's the girl too. Don't forget about the girl, but it's not like my daughter, the girl, if that makes sense. And I do feel like the girl is her nickname, like, because there's the 2 boys and then there's the girl, or someone calls her the girl, or she's just like, that's the girl, you know. There's something about that. There's some sort of nickname or something that the family sort of calls this person. I get the impression that this lady did pass quite a while ago. It wasn't an overly recent, and I say 2 to 3 years ago, she's saying. And she's saying that, you know, family life is somewhat back to normal. I see the boys are back in sport. There's definitely sport surrounding the family. But things are just sort of progressing naturally as they should do, and she's proud of the fact that everybody's back doing those things that they love to do. So I get the impression that the sport thing was put on hold for a while. I get actually a lot was put on hold for a while, and as is the nature with these kinds of things. But she's like, everything was sort of stopped there for a while. But excuse me, now everyone's back, and everyone's sort of back doing those things that they loved, and she's just showing that you know, the normal things that the family used to do. Like I get the impression that there was a lot of barbecues, a lot of family gatherings, and a lot of people around the house. Like, people would just sort of go to the house. The boys' friends would be at the house, the girls' friends would be at the house, like the parents' friends, you know, family. It's just sort of like the go-to house, and that all stopped as well. And she's just like, that's all coming back together again, and she's very proud of that fact, and she's very grateful for the fact that the family's been able to pick back up again and start moving forward. Okay, and that's it from her, and I'm going to leave it there. Those two came through quite strong, and again, I've done a reading earlier today and it was very strong as well, so I figured that today would be a good day to get this video out there. If the messages are for you, do let me know, whether you do that in the comments or send me an email, which I will link in the description. I'm sorry, my voice, I'm getting over being sick, so I sound a bit rotten. Yes, so do reach out and let me know whether you feel like doing that in the comments. That's fine. If you feel like a reading with me, then again, reach out via my email, because I am currently still offering free readings. And like I said, that is going to change fairly soon. So if you would like a reading with me, and while they are free, then do get in touch, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Okay, I'll leave that there. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you guys. Bye.